Hi Year 7, this is preparation for your mid-year writing assessment. I know, you might be a little bit shocked, but you can do it. What you will need your English rough book. The title is Preparation for Writing Assessment. You also need a handout called Amore Pizza and a pen. Of course, you're probably working on this at home. If you're in the classroom, you should be in your seats, and this is individual work with a sound level of 0. You have 2 minutes to write down the title, and then we will begin. If you're watching this in your own time, just hit pause and then play when you are ready to continue. For the exam, you will be given a specific task. For example, and this is a very big hint, you could be asked to write a letter. You will also be given a specific purpose. Now, I would not give you a purpose that we have not covered so far, so you know that it's going to be narrative or descriptive or informative. You might want to write that down. So, your task will be to write a descriptive, informative, or narrative letter. Now, let's talk about success criteria. As you can see from the cartoon, let's eat grandma, or let's eat grandma. Punctuation saves lives. So, along with punctuation, what will I be looking for? I will be looking to see if you have used a variety of sentences and sentence structure. By the way, you should be writing down these success criteria into your English rough books. So, number 1, sentence structure. Number 2, punctuation. Number 3, vocabulary. And number 4, writing for the correct purpose, informative, and the correct audience, a letter. Now, this is an example. This is a practice task. Let me say this one more time. This is not the assessment, but this is a practice task that's very similar to your assessment. So, here is the task. Amore pizza, for the love of good food. Win a free meal for 4. What's your favorite dish? Write us a letter and tell us all about it. The winning entry, the one that really makes our mouths water, will win a slap-up meal for 4. And if you choose to write about a non-Italian dish, we may choose to add it to our menu. We want to hear all about the juicy details, what your favorite dish is, where you usually eat it, and, most importantly, why you love it so much. Now, let's take a careful look at the task. When you first get your task, you want to look for the TAP, the TAP. Okay, so T stands for the type of text. Take a moment in your English rough books, write down TAP, and write down that the T equals type of text. Now, I'm obviously talking fairly quickly, but you can always hit pause if you need it. So, the type of text in this example is a letter. So we know that your writing needs to be a letter. The A of TAP stands for audience. Well, you are writing to Amore Pizza and to the owners. The P stands for purpose. Now this one's a bit tricky with this question because it doesn't say write an informative letter or write a persuasive letter or write a story. However, as you can see, which is underlined in purple, it says that you are writing to enter this competition and you have to write about all of these details. So basically this is an informative task, but you need to be a little bit persuasive because you want to win the competition. Now, good writers plan. I know for some of you plan is a bad word, but it shouldn't be. The best writers with the highest levels plan. So for this question, you would use these prompts, and these are on the handout that has been provided for you. So first of all, you would describe your favorite dish and what does it look like. Now, you don't want to just say something like, it looks like a taco. You have to imagine that you're speaking to someone who has not seen a taco before, so you would want to describe the yellow, crunchy shell with the green lettuce and the red bouncy round tomatoes, I don't know, something like that. You also need to describe what it tastes like, and please, if you're saying my favorite dish is chocolate cake, It tastes like chocolate cake. Well, that's not going to give you any points because you need to actually describe the scrumptious chocolate, etc. You need to also plan why you love it so much, and then also be creative about where you eat it. Now, they aren't necessarily asking you to write the truth. You can embellish things here. That's part of good creative writing. Now, I hope you're not hungry, by the way, while you're looking at this. Remember the punctuation pyramid. To get to your higher levels, you've got to be able to use all of this basic punctuation and colon, semicolon, ellipsis, and hyphens. Remember our success criteria, that you include figurative language. Figurative language includes things like similes, metaphors, personification. Any of this would be good to jot down in your English rough books. Now, let's go back to the question. You might be wondering how you structure your letter. So, it's a simple letter, so you start off dear. I would probably put dear owner or dear amore pizza. Just make sure that you follow it up with a comma. Now, the bullet points act like a map. That's the order that they want to hear. That's the order that you should write about in your letter. So, your first paragraph is a very short introduction about why you're writing. The next paragraph, or paragraph 2, is about your favorite dish. Paragraph 3 would be where I eat my favorite dish. Paragraph 4 is why it's your favorite. And then paragraph 5 is your conclusion, and that's when you're really telling them why they should choose you, why your dish is the best one. Now, this would be a good time to write about why you love this dish so much. And then finally, of course, the letter ends with your name. Please note, you do not need an address. So you don't need to write Amore Pizza's address. You don't need to spend time coming up with a funny address. Okay, you're not going to get any marks for that, so please don't do it. Now, let's use our solo taxonomy here. You may write your letter in your English rough book, or you may type it on Google Docs and then share it with me on Google Classroom. It's up to you. If you are at a pre-structural level and you're not sure about this task, you now need to read the exemplar level 5 letter because it will serve a model for how you can write your letter. If you're unistructural and you have some ideas about what you need to do, begin with completing the planning sheet. Now this is where most of you need to start today. Multistructural, you will then go on and write the letter. If you get to relational, that means that you have finished the letter and you're ready to compare it to the exemplar level 7 letter. And what you're doing is you're thinking about what you can learn from it. If you're able to go through all of those steps, the last step, the extended abstract level, is that you then upgrade and edit your own level letter to a level 7 letter. So if we're in class, this is where we start working today. If you're at home, you need to begin at any of these steps. I would recommend starting at pre-structural or unistructural. Good luck! Okay, I'm now going to talk you through the level 5 letter. As you can see, remember we've been learning about devices and trappers, and those are for you to use in your own writing as well. So the introduction says, I'm writing to you because I'm interested in winning your competition. My favorite dish is the best. Using an exclamation mark there because we want to use a variety of punctuation. My favorite dish is not served at your restaurant. It is called Veggetti Bolognese. Instead of using spaghetti noodles, this recipe uses noodles made out of cucumbers and carrots. However, you won't be able to tell because it tastes just like pasta. Cheesy noodles covered with a red, somewhat spicy tomato and mince sauce. Now, what's level 5 about this paragraph? Well, first of all, it has several types of sentences. We've got the simple sentence, another simple sentence, and then the sentence that begins instead of using spaghetti noodles, well, that's a clause, so this is a complex sentence. We also have the connective of however, We also have another subordinate clause, and then I've used a hyphen here as well. So that's a good variety of punctuation and sentence structure. Next paragraph. Veggetti bolognese is a dish that I eat at my grandmother's house. Every weekend, my parents and I go over for a Saturday night dinner. As soon as you walk through the door, you can smell dinner cooking. I always go into the kitchen to help Grandma finish the cooking. She lets me stir the pot as simmering sauce, then I get to lick the spoon. My brother helps grate the white, pungent cheese. And remember, when you have two adjectives, you separate them with a comma, unless the second one is a color. The fourth paragraph, the fourth paragraph is a different size. It's very short, which is fine. This is my favorite dish because I love Italian food. Cheese is one of my favorite foods, and because it is healthier than normal pasta. Conclusion, I think that veggetti bolognese is a dish that Amore Pizza should add to its menu. So this is where we're trying to be a bit persuasive. It will appeal to all of your customers. Vegetarian, and that's misspelled, apologies, customers will like it because it uses healthy organic vegetables. You can choose to use a meat substitute rather than using mince, and non-vegetarian customers won't be able to tell the difference between it and normal spaghetti bolognese. Yours faithfully, which is what you write when you don't know the person you're writing to, and then your name. Now let's look at a level 7 exemplar. In this exemplar, I have used more details and more devices. You can also see that I've used some bullet points, so I'm using a variety of structures within my letter. I am writing to you because I'm interested in winning your exciting competition, so just added in one word there, exciting, one adjective. Not only is my favorite dish the most scrumptious dish I've ever eaten, but it is original and organic. Your customers will be queuing for miles. Of course, that's hyperbole, that's exaggeration, but that's a good device to use. Not currently served at Amore Pizza, brackets, yet, brackets. My favorite dish is called veggetti bolognese. By the way, I've totally made this up. Instead of using spaghetti noodles, this recipe uses noodles made out of cucumbers and carrots. Worried that your customers will revolt? And yes, year 7, we know that is a rhetorical question. They won't. Short dramatic sentence. They won't be able to tell because it tastes just like pasta. Semicolon. It looks just like the original pasta too. Colon. Cheesy noodles covered with a red, somewhat spicy tomato sauce, which contains mushrooms, carrots, and mince. Wow, I am amazing. I've used a comma, a semicolon, a colon, and ended the sentence with a triad. Okay, next paragraph begins with a rhetorical question. Where did I first taste this delicious dish? Veggetti bolognese is a family recipe that we eat at my grandmother's house every weekend for our Saturday night dinner. As soon as you walk through the door, you can smell dinner cooking as a tomato scent wafts through the air. So a powerful verb there. First, connective, I venture, another good verb, into the kitchen to help Grandma finish the cooking as she lets me stir the pot of simmering sauce. Then I have the opportunity to lick the spoon. It's a family affair. Hyphen. My brother helps grate the white, pungent cheese. Veggetti bolognese has been my absolute favorite dish for the last 3 years. There are several reasons for this, and now I'm showing that I know how to use bullet points. I love Italian food, semicolon. Cheese is one of my favorite foods, semicolon, and it is healthier than normal pasta, full stop. I think that veggetti bolognese is a dish that Amore Pizza should add to its menu. It will appeal to all of your customers. Vegetarian customers will like it because it uses healthy organic vegetables. You can choose to use a meat substitute rather than using the mince. And non-vegetarian customers won't be able to tell the difference between it and normal spaghetti bolognese. Yours faithfully, and then your name. Okay, good luck, year 7. Get revising. Write those letters.